after I left the CDC, and as a young person you moved on your own. I moved to Jamaica to study, and then when I came back, I moved to Summersdale. Yeah, I know it was difficult to live at Summersdale. Again, I was on my own. I didn't know anybody there. That community spirit did not exist in Summersdale, and that was hard because I'm a young woman, young person, pregnant, and I'm asking myself, is that a place you want to live to raise your children? Everybody's indoors because you went into more the urban part of, and everybody lives in big houses and everybody's indoor. The CDC is not like that. Then I left there and moved to Babono. Babono did not give me all the opportunities that I had in the CDC. The house to house, the waving of the neighbor, the saying good morning, just walking out, and you know your neighbors are still far away from you. So even your children now, they still do not have anybody to play. So my children didn't have that kind of ambience which I had in the CDC, where every child was your friend. My children spend more time inside. Even if there was a neighbor, how often do you see the children? There was not enough. Remember, the CDC is in the heart of Castries. It's in central Castries. So you are surrounded by everything. You're surrounded by the market, you're surrounded by the stores, you're surrounded by garbage, you're surrounded by noise. So when I was growing up there, even if all of those things were there, compared to how it is now, I don't think it affected us. I loved living in the CDC. I felt it was one of the best places to live compared to where I lived Babono now. I think growing up in the CDC was excellent for me. I didn't have any problems living there, and people's perception of the CDC then as against to now, I don't think anybody would like to live in the CDC now, especially those who have left, because most of us have left the CDC, and it's a different perspective of what it was when we were living there. Definitely.
Were there any community events or anything like that that happened?
Because we lived in Castries Central, I think the best times for us were Christmas. I have to tell you about Christmas. My God. And maybe that's why I so love our culture. We have something called jab jab and masquerade. Everything happened in Central Castries. Jab jab, or what we call tours, it came to Central Castries. And let me tell you something. Christmas in the CDC, let me tell you, after church, you well dress, you do your house to house, and get ready for tours. Listen, I was so fearful of this thing. Again, remember I told you about the frame of the CDC. We went to the Busters because Tours was on Jeremy Street, which was the main street closest to the market. So my God, for us to enjoy Tours, we had to go into somebody's home because you wouldn't dare go on the road if Tours was coming. That was the most fearful thing as a child. As much as we enjoyed it, and you knew it was coming, my girl, you had to run. I run into every door, bust my head. You scream open the door. You went into everybody's house. You wanted to jump over the balcony because tours was coming. Now in the inner frame where we live, masquerade was there. I was not interested in masquerade. I mean, I love masquerade. Masqueraders were men dressed as women. They were nice, so they were nicely decorated. Their hats. That was in front of my house. So my mother, all of the elderly people, they would come with their little money, and they would dance in the circle there and throw their money, in the cup, and they would dance. But the younger ones, we the younger people, tours came from Chaussee Road and in the Conway. And my God, you like 6 or 10 feet, but you're running into somebody's house, and everybody opened their door. And For me, that was the best place to live because that's where tours came. So we got the best of the best when it was Christmas. We got the best of the best of Jam Jam. My God, that was the best times of our life. Best, best, best. Just living in the CDC and know during Christmas time, you have to get ready for that event. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. My God, I scream, I laugh, I choke. I used to have my nightmares about tours was like days after it happened. That was madness, man. I mean, even now growing up, I mean, I love tours, but I'm still afraid. I would watch them at a distance. I would watch them. You have the black boys. These people dress in black with molasses. You have pie banana. You know the real tours. He have this flower on his face with this long beard. You have Marius said who was his wife. You wouldn't dare go and think you want to pull his tail. Man, you would kill each other running because when he run after you, they would block because the CDCs on that section had entrances. The only exit was the same entrance. So you either run into one end, run into the end, or run in somebody's house. My God, well, I jump balcony. I run under the bed. I have cried. These were really, really good times. That was good times.
Who were some notable figures in your community that everyone knew?
Boy, everybody knew Marshalo. Marshalo was the seamstress. Everybody knew the wax people next door. That we call them the wax family because they made sandals. When you wanted your shoes, it was next door. Everybody knew the Alice. My goodness, Lord. If you come in the CDC and they have a rural, it was the Alice. The Alice lived in the far corner of the CDC, maybe about um, five, five houses from me. And the quarrel between the Allers and the Francis was so far fetched. You wonder how these people would quarrel if each other. Everybody knew them, but it was always about a boyfriend. On the left side of me was Miss Matilda. Now Miss Matilda had another daughter, which would quarrel with the they quarrel with the Allers in the extreme again. And my God, on Saturday mornings, you better get ready to get your black pudding because Miss Amelina made the best black pudding in the CDC. But Miss Amelina was not easy, eh? Because as much as we played our ball, make sure that ball does not go in Miss Amelina's house. And she would wait for that ball. If you think you're getting that ball back, we used to jump the balcony. Miss Amina, give us our ball. She tell you, Vinny, jump the balcony fast because she put the ball on the side of the door. And if you're lucky to get it, you better make sure you jump that balcony up very, very quickly. That lady would scold you if she find you in her balcony. My mother was loud too. Eh? When you see my mother quarrel, don't you? You have to run inside. Eh? My mother used to embarrass you because you get one lash behind your head. She used to quarrel behind everybody. As much as she liked us playing, do not send the ball in her balcony because you're destroying her flowers. I mean, come on. Everybody was playing, but give us a chance. She quarreled for every single thing. So I think there was a little fear of my mother in the CDC at one point in time. So I used to be very embarrassed sometimes. Please do not get in my mother's way. The adults, if you realize I'm saying, we never call them by their first names, basically. You either call them by their last name, or, for example, Corky's mother was Simile. That's not her real name, but they call her Simile. And there was Ati, which was his grandmother. We don't know their real names. But the Lubons, the Lubons, Malubo was Malubo. So we use her last name. Miss Amelina, we knew her as Miss Amelina. You understand? So we either call them by their last name or we call them by their surname or whatever nicknames they give them. But basically a lot of us left and never knew their full names.
What do you miss about the good old days?
Mm. I miss Christmas. I think Christmas, the CDC left me with Christmas. I think that's why I love Christmas. I miss the house to house. I used to love, no stranger, I used to love playing games, huh? And not being able to do that now because the CDC, within the CDC, we did these things. And so you don't have people coming to your home now. I mean, even if I move to Babu, no, people only come to your home if you invite them. In the CDC, it was not like that. Christmas, everybody went to get their sorrel. Everybody went to it must bring her house. My mother played her music loud. So you had to go there because she was telling you to come. The Lubons made the best cake. You know, musket. Oh, I just miss all of these things. And yeah, I moved to Babono and you know, people hardly come to your house. You have to invite them to come to your home, and it's not the same. But I made Christmas with my family, so I try to make that Christmas special for me. But I really, that was my favorite time of year. Great place, great place. And what I can tell you about the CDC, again, we produce some really wonderful, what I call it, artisans. I mean, great great people that have developed what St. Lucia developed our lives and what St. Lucia has become to be. CBC have created some really outstanding people. I hope I did justice. I can't remember everything, but yes, I had a good time. Thank you so much.